Connecting bridge to Pulse chain. Connecting ledger up through the contract. EMP.Money into Pulse chain.
36 minutes, collect the fees, chart go up, only green, connect the chains, prove the contracts, bridge the assets to make a gain. APR so high, so juicy, for the look like Gary Busey, EMP flossing, tossing, 3650 we secret saucing.
Bridge, Pulse chain, bridge, BSC. Transaction status success. 69 block confirmations. 420 UTC.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I am the team lead here, and this is our live AMA. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. As always, I'm joined by my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. LA, how are you? Oh, LA is muted or having some technical difficulties. She may be in and out today anyway, so I'm going to try to do this AMA on her own. Oh, maybe she's back. LA, are you there? All right, still no LA. So, all right, if LA can join us, she can pop in later. I'm going to go ahead and run the AMA solo tonight. We're also going to try to wrap it up pretty quickly. We have another important meeting after this AMA as well. So, as always, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe before we get started. And just to make sure, can I get a thumbs up in the chat if you all can hear me? I just want to make sure the technical difficulties are not on my side as well. All right, I think we're good. Yep, all right, thank you, Vino. We got a thumbs up. So, all right, we're going to jump right in. So, one of the major topics today, other than some other bullish announcements, is Binance. So, Binance, again, as a lot of you know, they have gone through some major changes. Obviously, CZ has, faced the wrath of the powers to be, but ultimately, I think he will come out unscathed, obviously, hopefully avoiding any potential jail time. And, when you have $10 billion, even if you have to pay $4 billion, I think I could live pretty good on $6 billion. So, anyway, the major thing was the discontinuing of BUSD. So, that is set to happen on the 15th. But that is Binance as an exchange, a centralized exchange. So I know that they are going to sunset BUSD as a whole, but I think it's still a few months away, and it will be a gradual process. So again, if you have BUSD, I would definitely start converting it into Tether, USDT, or USDC in preparation for that. But there should be plenty of liquidity through DEXs, decentralized exchanges, and we'll just keep you up to date as we learn more as well. But it's really not a huge deal, and really in the EMP ecosystem, as well as Spark, you know, we don't have exposure to BUSD anyway. So it's again a non-issue. We just want to clarify that. So all right, moving on to the next topic, L1 DEX. So that is again the important meeting we have after this one. Hopefully some updates with the L1X team. I know a lot of you have been getting impatient, or you haven't kept up with what was being said in previous AMAs, but we just want to reiterate that, you know, we are making headway as L1 DEX, and unfortunately, we're still waiting on some key infrastructure from L1X directly to be able to move forward. Now, that doesn't mean that, you know, we're not making headway. I mean, we're making great use of our development time to continue, you know, building out the different aspects of L1 DEX, but you know, we are going to be the first official project on L1X, and so with that, again, there's a lot of infrastructure that has to be made available, different repos, different libraries, and you know, obviously we're working with L1X hand in hand, but we are, you know, trying to pave our own way as well. So we'll hopefully have some more updates on that. Um, you know, we want we want the decks to be ready tomorrow. I mean, as badly as all of you want it, we want it here even worse. And you know, we could really launch within a matter of days, as soon as we get everything we need from L1X. So just keep that in mind when, you know, you're asking questions, and everything is on track. You know, we're almost there. And in terms of, you know, actually launching and integrating into the L1X app itself as well, a lot of that is again based on some variables that we cannot control as the partner project. So hopefully that answers a lot of questions. Again, it's not anything deliberate, or we're not delaying on purpose. Um, we're hoping that again, uh, this process is figured out and we can move forward 100%. So, all right, LA, are you here now? Are you able to join? All right,
Yeah,
yes, there she is.
now.
Oh, I think you're breaking up pretty bad, LA. So, yeah, so all right, I think we're gonna have to skip LA for this AMA. Oh man, I feel naked without LA around. But so anyway, if you get into a better spot, LA, and want to connect, we'll try again. But I think that was everything in terms of L1 decks. Again, if any of you have questions, please feel free to type in the chat, or I can address it further at the end with our Q&A. So. All right, let me go back to my notes. Give me 1 minute. All right, so up next is Fusion. So, again, more bullish updates. We're making amazing progress on the white paper. Um, excuse me, as we've said before, we're releasing a V2 of the white paper, and LA and I and the rest of the team have been hard at work making sure that it's perfect, as perfect as it can be. And so hopefully, again, we were planning to have it out tomorrow, but I don't know if that's still going to happen. It'll hopefully be over the weekend at the latest, but just a few more days. We just
Not tomorrow, just by the end of the week, I said. So that's still on track.
All right, perfect. There you go, LA. Perfect. I did hear that. You came through loud and clear. So hopefully you're in a better spot now. But all right. So again, we're just in the final edits of graphics, and you know, one more final read through, and then we can share with all of you. But you know, the vast majority of the updates have been from the explainer videos. So if you haven't had a chance to watch those, please do so. You can also put on the closed captioning if you, again, need it written or in a different language, and hopefully that will help you understand Fusion even that much better. So we're almost there again. Jake is working back on Fusion full time now, and we are lead dev, and so we just the process is hopefully having something to share ASAP, and then once we have an internal date that we're comfortable with, then it's a 2 week lead up because we have a ton of AMAs, a ton of marketing that we need to do around the launch of Fusion. And remember, this will be the MVP or minimal viable product. Obviously we took a little bit more time to make the MVP a little bit more robust so people can actually cash out and, you know, the revenue streams are actually happening now rather than later. So it will be, a pretty polished version, but there will be a lot of features that we'll still be adding, throughout 2024. But super bullish again. I think people are finally getting excited again, which is great. And with that, we've seen a nice uptick in eShare. So, I think people are starting to, again, finally get it. It's starting to click with everybody. And the more AMAs that we do to explain, the more bullish everything becomes. Especially, eShare is a very low supply token, and we talk about it, in many other AMAs, on why it's so bullish. So, please join or please listen to some of the older recordings for more details. But it will be, the only transactable asset in Fusion. And so, with all that economic energy of the main currency of Fusion, it could do wonders for, again, the price. And that's not financial advice. We can't, speculate on price itself. But LA, are you here? Do you want to add to that, or I don't know if you're getting good reception now, but go ahead.
I'm gonna leave it up to you for right now.
All right, perfect. Well, if there's anything you need to jump in for, just let me know and interrupt me. Make sure we don't skip over anything. Again, I apologize. I'm going a little fast here. We're just trying to get all the info out for today before we take too long. So, all right, now Sparkswap. Some really awesome news as well as some things that a lot of you have been waiting on. So we've had some great momentum with the update that we released last week, allowing the bridge to function a lot more simply in terms of user ability, allowing you to bridge multiple assets now, not just SDI, DI, and EMP or USDX. You can actually bridge out a lot more options now from Pulse, and we're going to continue to add more and more options with that. And one of the things that we've been talking about is another release of a really bullish upgrade. Uh, and so I'm happy to announce that we're on track for, again, either tomorrow or over the weekend, we will be migrating all of the Spark PLS LP from the farm and all of the Sparkler holdings over to our own DEX. So, similar to the original migration that a lot of you already participated in, with EMP ETH and GOAT Spark token, it'll be the same exact process. So, we'll announce on all of our socials that the migration has begun. You'll get a pop-up on your screen that will allow you to migrate your farm positions and migrate your Sparkler because again, Sparkler rewards LP tokens, and we have to make sure that Sparkler is rewarding the correct LP now that the main LP lives on Sparkswap. So this is super bullish for many different reasons. And we'll do it again in the announcement that we make. There'll be a full walkthrough of what to do, but it'll be super, super simple. Again, you'll get a pop-up, you'll approve the migration, you'll actually do the migration, and then the new farm and the sparkler will operate exactly how it does now. Everything will be fixed under the hood. So, and again, when we do the announcement, I can do a walkthrough on the following AMA as fast as we can. But why this is so bullish is because now we'll actually have a routing pair to be able to actually reward Pulse on the bridge as well. So now, again, after the migration, you can choose to bridge in DAI or USDEX or USDC, um, or EMP or anything from BSC and Arbitrum that we support, and then you can actually choose to receive Pulse on Pulse Chain. And this is revolutionary because those that are new to Pulse will need Pulse to transact. And right now, it's been, you had to plead and beg your friends for some Pulse, or use another bridge that's extremely expensive. Um, and so this is going to be massive for user adoption as well. And speaking of bridges, another really bullish update last night. The main Ethereum bridge from ETH mainnet to Pulse is actually now free. And now, again, that's bullish for all the ETH whales and large bags moving capital back into Pulse. But for us, our bridge is still a better deal because even though the bridge fees are zero on the Ethereum bridge, you are still paying $25 or more in gas fees. And, depending on how much you're moving, if you're only moving, 100 or 1,000 bucks, that is a major, major price impact, or fee rather, against what you're moving. So our bridge is still a better option, even though the main Ethereum bridge is fee free, and that's really bullish. I mean, to be able to to be able to compete with the free bridge and still come out on top, that is really really huge. So, and you can see I posted in our socials a comparison on the fees for both, and again, the numbers don't lie for sure. So that's exciting. Again, Pulse has already started to recover. I think it's just, cyclical in terms of, again, Pulse being down, but eventually Pulse will go up, and that's just the nature of the beast. So, all right, I think that is all the updates in terms of Fusion. I'm sorry, in terms of Sparkswap. The bridge may be in and out of operation for the next few hours. We are pushing some updates as well. And again, we are dealing with a lot of node issues on top of everything. We are working on our own private node on Pulse, and we're switching between nodes on BNB network and Arbitrum. So a lot of the congestion from the bridge has nothing to do with our code. It simply has to do with the network activity. So we may again experience some downtime on the bridge, but if the bridge is down, you will not be able to use it. So your funds won't be stuck in limbo. And if you are experiencing some issues, again, within 1 hour, you should get your funds back on your original chain, or it should just push through. So nobody panic. The funds are Cefu. Sometimes it just takes longer than other times. So, all right, I think that is a lot of the updates. Again, LA, I know you're not as available today, but anything you wanted to add?
Did you already do the ledger stuff at the beginning? Did I miss that part?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go into that in the Q&A for sure. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so no, I haven't yet. But
Okay.
all right. So I have a few
That was
more.
the only part that I remembered. Yeah.
All right, perfect. Yep, I have a few more updates. And then we will the Q&A may be a little bit short. I didn't have a chance to look at Discord, but I think all the questions that we did have I will cover. So oh, and one more thing too. We do have a lot more AMAs scheduled, and we had AMAs this entire week. So the marketing train is still rolling. Um, we did about 4 over the last week, and we have a few more scheduled next week. So definitely make sure you check out some of the AMAs we did with Coach X, Moonshot Max, and the Pillars as well. and all those links can be found in our socials. So, all right, let me.
And a good,
Yeah, oh,
and one thing on that note is, obviously we're not going to say who, but we've been having some meetings behind the scenes with some people that we've been trying to get the attention of for quite a long time, who have been kind of keeping an eye on us, who haven't quite yet, at the beginning committed to AMAs, who are now paying more attention now that a lot more of their community are invested in Sparkswap and loving it and stuff. So um, every step is a step to a larger step, if that makes sense. And so we're excited about where we're progressing with the marketing and who we're speaking to and who we're making long-term connections and relationships with. So some exciting stuff there.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like great stuff, and it's true. I mean, we're not ready to release who it is yet, obviously, but we're having conversations with people that we've been trying to have conversations with for a long time. And the bullish thing is that they now know about Spark and other parts of our ecosystem, EMP as well. So our reputation precedes us, LA, right? So that's pretty bullish for sure. Awesome. All right, so I have a few more updates in the Q&A here. Elliot mentioned the ledger hack. So yeah, and that's actually part of the title today. Obviously everything that we do is with the safety in mind of our community, and even not even within our community, but our you being part of DeFi and crypto overall. So today there was a major front end hack on Ledger Connect. And what that is, it's a library, essentially, a set of code that a lot of DeFi protocols use to be able to connect your hardware wallet. Again, Ledger being the one in question here. And what happened was it actually popped up a second pop-up screen, and there are some screenshots of this around Twitter if you feel like digging in deep. But it actually pops up a pop-up screen on top of the original pop-up screen when you connect your wallet. And so you don't even have to have a ledger to be affected. You just had to try to connect your MetaMask or your Rabby with this malicious pop-up. And unfortunately, a lot of people were victims. So, and it just goes to show how, sneaky and cunning these scammers can be. So, if something looks fishy and you see like a double pop-up or, you know, something doesn't look right, or the best thing you can do, which I know a lot of people don't do, is when you're approving a transaction in Rabby or MetaMask, make sure that you actually read what you're approving. And I know that sounds really simple, but when we're doing, hundreds of transactions a day, we get really lazy in doing that. I mean, myself included. So just make sure that you're always reading what you're doing. With EMP and SparkSwap, we didn't even have the Wallet Connect library part of our protocol. We use a different set of software for the wallet integration, so we were never affected. Um, and so just be careful that you're safe with any of our products, but just be careful around DeFi today, and make sure that the devs confirm that they pushed any updates if they were affected. So, and I think that the library's been updated now anyway, so it shouldn't be an issue moving forward. But I just err on the side of caution. And yeah, always remember, never, obviously the stuff we preach on a daily basis. Never respond to DMs. If you do have questions, make sure you try to address them publicly in our chats, and make sure that you're talking to the actual admins and not imposters. So, all right, I think that was a good update for the
And
hack. Yeah, go ahead, Ellie.
sorry, on that note, I've noticed an uptick lately in the Sparkswap group of I guess they're fake accounts that are named something else, and then all of a sudden, when someone asks a question needing help with something, usually related to the bridge, all of a sudden they change their username or their display name to be identical, and their picture to be identical to one of the admins that's online. I've seen them do it with Stinky, I've seen them do it with AJ, and they reply to the comment asking the person to DM them. And so they are not randomly DMing you, they're asking you to DM them. And so it looks legit. So make sure, even if you just saw that administrator online and it looks like they're responding to your question, make sure their chat bubble says admin or team member in the bubble that's responding to you, because these people are getting really sneaky.
Yeah, that's a great point, LA. And again, a lot of it too is just common sense. Like, in other words, there will never ever be a situation where any of our admins, myself included, LA, any of our admins, will ever ask you to connect to a different website or, I mean, obviously ask for your seed phrase, or anything that has to do with your wallet. And above all, never actually, like I say, migrate or navigate away or send funds to test. I mean, you can kind of use the common sense that if it sounds like, why would I do this? Don't do it. And, again, they are getting smarter and smarter. So this is one of the major pitfalls of crypto is that not only do you have to try to make money, but you have to also try to not be scammed. And unfortunately, that's the world that we live in. But as long as you use, again, your brain as much as you can when you're interacting, and again, if you're ever in doubt, just don't do anything. Wait for one of us to come on or do an AMA. I mean, anytime you see the pinned messages, either from LA or I, you know that that is our actual account. So feel free to send me a DM and just know that that's the real AJ or LA. And so if you do get an imposter and there is no chat history or a message that says, "Hey, yes, this is AJ from a month ago or a week ago or whatever," then you know it's a scammer. So again, I just want to make a whole segment on security because it's been harder and harder lately for sure. And yeah, LA, again, anything to add?
No, I think that's it on that note.
Cool. All right. Awesome. All right. So just a few more updates again. I spoke about the bridge. You may experience some outages on the bridge. Again, don't panic. I get DMs all the time from people that say, the bridge hasn't gone through, or my funds gone. And I can tell you, there will never be an instance where your funds are gone, other than a catastrophic hack, which, we are well prepared for and have done all the due diligence. I mean, we have the safest bridge we can possibly have in terms of code. Even if your funds are not showing up, that does not mean they are gone. So please, again, I think everybody goes to the worst case scenario. We're able to, update the backend, make sure any pending transactions are pushed through. Sometimes we have to reset things and then they work. Software is tricky, but we have every bit of confidence that the bridge is working flawlessly. And once we get the nodes finally figured out, again, that's something out of our control. That also adds complexity. Then we should be back to 100% uptime on the bridge. So, all right, awesome. EMP bonds, yeah, I just want to mention this one more time. Bonds are still killing it. They're up another $7 from our last update. You were able to buy bonds, a few months ago. Now they're up to $267. dollars each. So every day those bonds are accumulating more and more value, and they will continue to accumulate that value. So if you missed out on EMP bonds, please, consider picking some up as a savings account, so to speak, that pays way better than your traditional bank would ever pay. And that is EMP.Bonds.com. You can connect through the marketplace to see what's available. So, all right, and then last but not least, this was a question in the Spark chat over on Discord, and that was about Spark governance. So, we've said this many times, but I wanted to reiterate, we absolutely have plans for additional utility of Spark. Obviously, not only are we in a transition into a deflationary model, where we get rid of the inflation, and then LP providers are rewarded in part of the swap fees of each pair. But the idea is that if you want to have a boosted pool or farm rather in Spark, you actually have to own Spark to be able to vote for that. Or we've said before too with pools, a lot of you want to bring the single asset pools back. We feel that is a detriment to the protocol, so that's why we're phasing them out. But once we move to the DAO model and Spark really is a governance token, then people could vote to bring the pools back. I mean, that is how the governance would work, and at that point, we truly are decentralized, and we're moving to that as fast as we can. And I think it's super exciting for, again, the more utility and use case for Spark itself, even outside of earning insane yield from Sparkler. So, all right, I hope that answered that person's question. And yeah, I think we're good. So, LA, was there any other questions in the chat? I don't know if you're able to even see it. I'll
I
try to
can't.
look. All
I
right,
can't
yeah.
see it. No.
All right. I think we're good then. Yeah, I don't see anything pressing. Give me one more minute while I look through. All right, yeah. Okay, I have two questions I can expand upon, and then we'll wrap it up. So, the first question is, how will L1 DEX vary from the swap feature of the L1X app? So, yeah, the L1X app is essentially just a front end. So the L1 DEX will actually be a lot more robust, and we will be utilizing balancer pools rather than single-sided staking where you have to lock up your capital for literally months to provide LP on the app. So and ultimately a lot of the app volume will be routed through L1 DEX anyway. So, from, a user perspective, the L1 DEX app or website will be a lot more robust and have a lot more liquidity. But from the L1X app side, nothing will change on the front end. It'll just all happen under the hood. So that's what we're building towards. That's what we're hoping for. And those that don't want to lock up their capital and provide deep liquidity and get rewards, the APR in at an L1X L1 DEX should be higher as well because you have a little bit more risk providing two parts of the LP rather than just single staking one side. But yeah, I mean we're bullish on how both systems will work together for sure. So all right,
Can I add to
yeah,
that
absolutely,
also?
yeah, go ahead, yeah, absolutely.
I just wanted to add, if it's been a while since you've read the homepage of the L1 Dex website, I really suggest going back and giving it a reread. because I've been reading this narrative a lot lately where people are saying things like the L1 DEX is mostly only about the balancer pools. And while the balancer pools are a massive part of L1 DEX, it's there's so much more bullish stuff incorporated into L1 DEX. It's not just about the balancer pools. There's a lot of really bullish aspects to L1 DEX that we've been speaking about for months that are super revolutionary for a DEX. If you go back and listen to some of the old AMAs and some of the verbiage that we've used, and some of the things that we brought up that we're incorporating into the DEX months and months ago, and that have been written on the website, you'll see that it's about a lot more than just the balancer pools. And I think we'll go into that in more depth in future AMAs when we have more time to cover this. But if you go ahead and reread the website, I think you'll feel super bullish about what's coming, because the DEX is going to be truly very sick.
Yeah, no, great points, LA. I mean, again, that website has been up for literally months, and everything that we said from day one is still the exact vision that we're hoping to pull off, and even down to the partner section, routing liquidity from other dexes on other chains. So again, I think that it becomes a bit difficult when we're building and L1X is building and trying to get on the same page. But we're doing everything we can to have that happen. And we're super confident that we can pull it all together. It's just you have to understand that uh, uh, coding is hard. All of you know that through Fusion, let alone coding on a brand new revolutionary blockchain that we have no control over, and have to make all the pieces fit together. It's a heavy lift, and so I get that people are frustrated that we're not putting out a lot of updates. But I promise you that we will as soon as we have the updates to put out. And really, at the end of the day, I mean, the L1X app is still in quote unquote beta, and the chain itself is still in beta. So I mean, you can't even sell or move your L1X tokens. And our revolutionary part of the DEX is that we're paying fees in L1X. So that is a whole nother thing that we're working through. Again, to be able to reward the L1X token, and actually have you rewarded for providing LP, you have to be able to sell the token or at least put it to use somewhere else. So again, there's a lot of little things that people just don't even comprehend or don't think about that is vital to the success of our project. So please, continue to learn as much as you can. Uh, L1X itself has been putting out some incredible updates in terms of their experts and different incentives, their nodes, locking up your L1X for bonus tokens. So please make sure you're in the L1X Discord and asking a lot of questions over there too, for sure. So yeah, really good points, LA. Anything you want to add?
Nope.
All right, perfect. I have one more question here. Um, can we still launch Fusion even if L1 Dex isn't ready? The answer to that is absolutely. L1 Dex is really, has nothing to do with Fusion other than being a potential revenue stream. We have discussed that later on when L1X is up and running and everything is working well and the L1 Dex is functioning, we may consider having the interoperability of Fusion integrated with L1X. But in terms of L1 Dex, they are completely separate and one doesn't rely on the other than L1 Dex feeding rewards into Fusion from, part of a very small part of the fees. So yeah, that answer is when Fusion is ready, it will be ready. And again, there's nothing other than, making sure we've dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's that is holding us back from releasing Fusion. So bear with us. It's almost here. So, all right. I think that was everything. So yeah, all right. I think we're gonna wrap it up then. Again, I hate to kind of cut things short. LA is on the road, and we're busy trying to make moves behind the scenes. Um, so today was a little bit of a hectic AMA, but I appreciate all of you hanging in there and bearing with us. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as well. Smash the like buttons. And we should have a lot of updates coming about the Fusion white paper and majorly bullish moves with Spark PLS LP and moving all of that volume and fees over to our native DEX. So that's really exciting. But all right, LA again. I don't know if you can still hear me, but any final words as we sign off?
Thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. We will see you on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend. And in the meantime, there's going to be lots and lots of bullish updates. So make sure to pay attention to the pinned announcements.
All right, there you have it. I can't compete with that. So good night, good day. We will see you on next Monday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Bye bye.